number over there, don't panic. It's just a number you've been working on reading for weeks now. Not that number, but larger numbers. What's today's date, Carson, so we can get that written down? Thank you. Let's see. Today, title it. Let's call it rounding. A little bit of review. Rounding decimals. But to do that, we should warm up a little bit. Can anybody read the number on the left for us? We all need to be able to, but who will read it for us? The one on the left. Revel, thanks.
54 and 6,758. 10,000.
10,000s, yes. Don't worry, folks. Don't panic when you come to this. If you can't think of it, just go all the way back. Remember, we got the tenths, hundredths, thousandths. And then that's when our pattern starts. 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. And those phrases just keep repeating. But today, we're reviewing some rounding. So this number, Fensky, can you read that for us?
784.
Not too tricky. But this is our whole number, just 784 pizzas or whatever we're talking about. And when we round, what are some things we need to remember when we round a number? Our number's 704. It's got 3 digits in it. What are some things we need to remember, Hallie?
If it's below 5, you'll keep it the same. And if it's above 5 or 5, you round up.
Okay, yep, and you're exactly right. That's the rules. What is she referring to if what's above or below 5? That's something sometimes we forget. Clara?
For example, if you're rounding the tens place, you look at the ones place.
Very good. If we're round, let's do that. So let's look at the tens place. That's why we have to know our place values. That's why when we regroup, I don't say we regroup from the 8 or the 2 or the 4. We regroup from the hundreds place. What's in the tens place, Revel?
4.
Nope. That's why we're practicing. What?
7.
Nope. The tens place. And 8. Very good. So Sam, where do we look to see if we round the 8 up or leave it alone?
At the ones place.
We look to the ones place. Good. We look next door. That's how I remembered it as a kid. If we're rounding the tens, we look next door, 5 up, round it up, 4 or below, ignore, and then it just stays the same. So what would the 8 do with this whole number? What's the 8 going to do? Yep.
Just say 8.
Stay at 8. So if we round 784 to the nearest 10, what does the new number become? Moose?
780.
780. Everything to the right disappears. Everything to the left stays the same. What if we rounded 784 to the nearest 100? Where do we look?
At the tens place.
We look to the tens. So now we're rounding this. I always encourage you to underline the value you're rounding. And I put a point above where we're looking. And what would our new number become? If we're rounding the hundreds and we look next door, and the rule is 5 up, round up, 4 ignore, what's this going to change to, Fitch? 800. Yeah, pretty simple, pretty basic. But now when you have our decimals like this, some of you get thrown off. But it's the same principle. It's the same thing. But that's why, again, we're practicing our place values. Read these place values for me, which you should all know coming into 5th grade. What are they? Everybody? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. We should know that. What are the next 3, Sam? After thousandths? Oh, I shouldn't have put that comma there, sorry. What's after thousandths? Nope. What's after the ones? The tens. So what's after the thousandths? 10,000ths. Then what? Then the 100,000s. And then after the 100,000s, we have what, Clara? Keep going. 10 millionths and 100 millionths. Yeah. So if we have this number, Viv, can you read our number for us? Give it your best try. Well, not thousand, no, we have our 2 in the ones place. There's my decimal. So you started right the first time. 2 and. And what place value did this go out to? There you go. Now say it all together. Good. Now what if we rounded this to the nearest tenths? What would our number become? Talk to your neighbors. What will this number become if we round to the tenths? So here's my tenths, and I look next door. You know the rule. What's it going to be? What's it going to become? Delaney, what do you think?
2 and 460.
No, but thank you. That would be rounding to the nearest hundredth. I said tenths, didn't I? I said tenths, right? Yeah. So that would be rounding it to the nearest hundredth, Delaney. Clara?
2 and 5/10.
Just 2 and 5/10. We round to the tenths. We look next door. That's a 5. So we round up the tenths to a 5. So 2 and 457 thousandths is basically about what? 2.5. If we round to the tenths. What if we rounded this to the nearest hundredth? Then what would it become? Talk to your neighbors. What's it going to become? Cole? 2 and 460 thousandths. Or we can leave that off because 0 means what? Absolutely nothing. All right, good. Now this larger number, you're going to have to be doing all kinds of things with decimals besides adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, rounding, different things with them, not just the standard stuff. Anybody can round a decimal number. Read this number to yourself and then read it out loud for us. Ooh, it's almost the same number I used up here. What's this number, Cole?
12 and 784.
Very good. Now, this is a different question now, so listen to the question carefully. What place value would you round to give me a 3? What place value would you round so that I could see a 3? I don't see a 3 now. How could we get a 3 there? By rounding which place value? Good, I see some hands. Fitch, what do you think?
The ones?
The ones place? If I round the ones?
Yeah.
Let's see. So I got 12 now, so I'm going to write it over here. Everybody else write this down too. 12 and 784 thousandths. Rounding the ones. Underline it. Look next door. What's there, Miss Fitch?
A 7.
That means my 2 is going to do what?
Round up.
Round up to a
3.
3. Very good. So that's kind of a question that's not typical. You're going to see round the tens, round the hundreds, circle the 8. We might want you to just create something. How about this one? You guys see that decimal in there? Who's going to read that number for us? Read it to yourself in your head, and when you're ready. Zachariah?
298 and 3,500.
Very good. What place value would you round to give me a 4? So that we could see a 4 in this number. What place value would you have to round so that suddenly I see a 4 in my new number? So it's rounded and I got a 4 in it. What do you think, Moose?
100,000.
The 100,000ths? Let's see. I'm going to write it over here. 298 and 35 hundredths. And I asked for
98. It's 98.
oh, sorry. And what did I ask for, Moose? What number? To see a 4. So if I round the hundredths,
Or
no? Change your mind?
10.
The tenths? Let's see. So if I round the tenths, underline it, look next door, what's there, Moose? A 5. So that means my 3 is going to do what? Go up? This isn't called going. It's called what? Rounding, yes. So 298 and 4/10. Very good. One more. And we have one more problem at the bottom. Slinky, can you read this number for us? Can you see it?
1,269.7 and 7.
Yep, start again. I heard that weird word in there.
1,269 and 7 tenths.
7/10. Yes, very good. Now, if I asked you how to write it, you would tell me that. What digit's in the tens place? What digit is in the tens place? Zach?
2.
Nope. What digit's in the tens place? Clara?
6.
6 is in the tens place. What digit's in the thousands place, Cole?
1.
How about the hundreds place, Rev?
9.
Hundreds place, Rev?
Oh, 7.
Hundreds. If it's got the Z sound, you know it's to the left.
2.
2, very good. What's in the tenths place, Rev? Tenths place.
9.
Tenths. Z is on the left, TH is on the right.
7.
A 7. So let's round this number to the nearest, what do you want to round it to, Clara? Hundreds? Okay, let's round this to the nearest hundreds place. What's your number going to become? And remember, if you're rounding to the hundreds, what's to the left stays the same, most times. What's going to happen to my hundreds? 1,269 and 7/10. What's going to happen to the 2? Anything or nothing? Zach?
It's gonna go turn into a 3.
It's going to not turn. This isn't called turning into.
Go up to a 3.
Not called going up to. What's our terminology, Clara? It's going to round to a 3, yes. Round the hundreds, look next door, 5 up, round up, 4 ignore. So 1,000, what, Zach? 1,300. All right. Copy this problem down. Let us know when you got the solution. 2 7/78 minus 4.
What?
Find me the correct solution. But I want a subtraction problem. Maybe you'll do it wrong. I got lots of questions. I got puzzled looks. That's a good thing. Some people looked at me like I'm a complete fool.
What is 4? It's going to be a negative number.
Why is it going to be a negative number?
Because
4 is larger. So if we are subtracting these two, she's right. We'd have a negative number. I don't want that. So if this problem is written like this, which number is larger?
4.
4 is larger. This is 4 pizzas. This is 2 pizzas and 7/800 of another one. So 4 has to be on the top. Where's my decimal for the 4? I need it now. Fitch?
The decimal is after the 4.
Which side? After's okay, but to the right, yep. There it is. And now I got to plug in my rest of it. So is 2, 7, and 8 going on top, Slinky, or on the bottom?
On the bottom.
It's going on the bottom. It looks bigger because it has more digits, but it's smaller. And what should we add next to the 4, Carson? Just to make it look a little more normal. Because right now it looks like stuff's missing. Zeros. Add our placeholders. Now it looks more similar. Chase, is that you down there? What do we do first here? Can we subtract? What are you supposed to ask yourselves every time?
You can do 0 minus
What should you be asking yourself every time you see a subtraction
do I
problem?
have to trade?
Thank you, Chase. Do I have to trade? Everybody look at that and ask yourselves that. I don't care if you do it out loud, but you should be every time. Chase, do we need to trade?
Yes.
Why?
Because you can't take 0 from 8 from 0.
Correct. Or 7 from 0. So where are we going to trade from?
4.
Nope. The
0.
The ones place. This will always be the ones place. Leaves how many ones? 3. Where did that 1 go? Zach?
To the tenths.
To the tenths as 10 tenths. Are we done? Nope, now what do we gotta do? Yep, Elian. Ooh, it's not called takes first. We are regrouping by doing what? Starts with a T. Nope, we're trading. From where? 10th place. How many does that leave me? 9. Where did that 10th go? 100th place as 10 hundredths. There they are. Chase, subtract away. Little louder though.
10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1.
Good. What's our answer then, Carson? 1 and 22 hundredths. Very good. All right.